Namaste. So today's topic in human anatomy and physiology is the active transport. Active transport and the type of the active transport. In the active transport, molecules move against the concentration gradient. This we have already studied in the previous lecture. Means low to high. The molecules move from low to high. Energy. So for this, the energy is required. So for the active transport, the energy required. This we have also studied. Energy must be provided for this. Exhibit saturation kinetic for this. Active transport is divided into two types according to the source of the energy used to cause the transport. First is primary active transport, second is secondary active transport. In primary active transport, they use the energy directly from the hydrolysis of ATP, sodium potassium pump, calcium pump, hydrogen potassium pump, hydrogen proton pump. These are the examples. But in secondary active transport, energy utilize the transport of one substance help in the movement of the other substance. Energy is derived secondarily from the energy that has been stored in the form of ionic concentration, difference of secondary molecule or ionic substance between the two sides of the cell membrane, created originally by the primary active transport. Like co-transport, the transport of sodium by its concentration gradient is the couple to the transport of the other substance in the same direction, like carrier protein. So second is the ionic gradient. It is the driven active transport. For example, cell of the intestine epithelium take up dietary glucose by sodium dependent sympod. This process is example of the secondary active transport because sodium gradient in these cells is maintained by the sodium potassium ATPase. The sodium glucose transport system concentrates glucose inside the cell. Glucose is then transported into the capillaries through a passive mediated glucose unipode. This is the one of the four characteristics that distinguish mediate and non-mediate transport. First, speed and specificity. The solubility of the chemically similar sugar D-glucose and D-mannitol in the synthesis of lipid bilayer are similar. However, the rate at which glucose moves through the erythrocyte membrane is 4 order of magnitude faster than that of D-mannitol. The erythrocyte membrane therefore contains a system that transports glucose and that can distinguish glucose from D-mannitol. Second, saturation. The rate of glucose transport into an erythrocyte does not increase infinitely as the external glucose concentration increases, such as observation is evidence that a significant and specific number of sites on the membrane are involved in the transport of glucose, which becomes saturated high, and the plot of the glucose flux versus glucose is hyperbolic. The non-mediate glucose flux increases linearly with glucose. Third is competition. The curve is shift to the right in the presence of the substance that compete with the glucose for binding to the transporter. Fourth is inactivate. Reagents that chemically modify protein and hence may affect their function may inhibit the rapid saturable flux of the glucose into the erythrocyte. So here we have completed the type of active transport. Hope you will like this video. For any query, You can comment below. Thank you.